Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. So I want to discuss two topics in this video. One of them is one of my subscribers came out and said, hey Mitch, I don't know if you're sure of this, but if I am aware of this, but America has delayed the tariffs on Chinese EVs. That 100% tariff. And remember, I've always said on my channel that there are going to be speed bumps. It's not all, hey, this is great, it'll be a smooth ride up to the top. But what I've always said is it's a long-term investment and there will be minor speed bumps, and that's all it is. Because policy changes according to the administration that's in power, or based on trade wars, if China hits back or negotiations take place, which we saw recently. So they are delaying it. And before I get into that, give you where I got this from. It's actually from the Automotive News. China had this article, and I want to thank my subscriber for this. And also, I wanted to talk about Xpeng, Xpeng. Xpeng, I spoke about it where they were talking about going into, considering going into hybrids, not just being a pure EV play like us anymore. And I said a lot of it is because of range anxiety, because they don't have, and most of the other EV manufacturers, in fact, all of them right now, do not make swappable EVs, which will change soon. All the companies that have partnered with us will be making models that will be battery swappable. But those who did not partner with us understand that they are going to go under if they don't adopt battery as a service or go hybrid as well. But there's a bigger agenda to that I just found out about. Europe is not putting tariffs against hybrids coming from China or anywhere else in the world. And some of you might say, well, Mitch, hey, what if they change that? Well, I don't think they will change that, and I'll say why. You see, as much as Europe and America is pretending that they want to go green, with this whole new Green Deal that we pushed in the beginning here in America, but because China became the leader, we said, oh, no, forget that Green New Deal anymore, and imposing tariffs. Well, I don't believe Europe will impose tariffs against the hybrids because Ursula von der Leyen, who is head of the European Union, is married into an oil family. So this is a nice compromise for her where you can bring affordable hybrids. They don't have a problem with that because the oil companies in Europe can still make money. Now, when it comes to the tariffs in America, my subscriber said he found it on Automotive News China, and I went and I looked it up. And this is why I say there will always be minor speed bumps, but policies always change based on many different things. Administration being replaced, negotiations being taken place, and this is what I believe just happened with that trip from the American administration over there to China. It says, U.S. delays final ruling to hike tariffs on EVs made in China. Higher duties of 100% on EVs, 50% on semiconductors and solar cells, and 25% on lithium-ion batteries and key minerals, steel and aluminum, shipped to shore cranes and syringes were set to take effect on August the 1st, but they have been delayed yet again. And they said the Biden administration on Friday again delayed an announcement of its final determinations for steep U.S. tariff hikes on Chinese-made electric vehicles, batteries, semiconductors, and solar cells, saying it will make a decision public in the coming days. Now, if they decide to tone it down, remember, Washington is the dog and Europe is the tail. Canada is the tail. So whatever Washington does, the master does, the slaves have to follow. So I do believe that if Washington revise this and genocidal Josephine bring those tariffs down, then Europe and Canada will follow suit. But what damage has Canada done to themselves in the face of China? So a spokesman for the US Trade Representative Office said the agency continues to develop the final determination regarding proposed modification to tariffs on Chinese goods imposed under then President. The statements came shortly after White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan returned to Washington after several days of talks with senior Chinese officials in Beijing, including meeting on August 29 with Chinese President Xi Jinping. And I saw that interview where Xi Jinping, the premier of China, was saying to this Jake Sullivan that the way to go forward is not by dropping bombs and selling bombs to continue wars like we're doing in Israel and in Russia, to continue that war, keep never-ending wars. But the way to do it is through common prosperity and fair trade, where everyone benefits. So this is a really hard thing to understand for the West to adopt, because our economy, since Eisenhower left office, was to grow it by dropping bombs. But we weren't really growing it actually. The only thing we were doing was supplying the weapon manufacturers with tax dollars while we keep increasing taxes and keep printing money. Now it has reached a dire situation because the BRICS nations are moving away from our dollar and the dollar is going to collapse completely. So we have to wake up and start behaving in a responsible manner to grow the economy again. Now I'm seeing reports where they're saying when the Feds lower interest rates, it's going to further actually devalue the dollar and cause gold and silver to go up. Guys, keep your eyes on this. But anyway, so after that meeting with Jake Sullivan, it seems now that they are rethinking their strategy, because China will move forward full steam ahead with the green energy revolution into the BRICS nations like I was talking about, and also forming new ties with other African countries that I've seen recently, with Uganda and other countries all over Latin America, where you see China just flooding, where they enter the Caribbean as well. And this trend will continue and we will get left behind. So I think Jake Sullivan and Genocidal Josephine is starting to rethink, the Genocidal Josephine administration, of what they're doing. So don't think that this is because they think that somehow they will win. They were trying to panic China, and as we get into the article, you will see why they are really rethinking it now. So as we scroll down, I'll go past some of the FUD. The agency on July 30th delayed implementation until sometime in September, saying it needed more time to study more than 1,100 public comments from the industries in America. It set a new deadline on August 31st, which was further delayed by Friday's announcement. But here we get into the meat of it. It's whether to ease the tariffs is the administration's first major trade decision since Vice President Kamala Harris emerged as the Democratic Party's presidential nominee, without any votes, by the way. She was snuck in there. As the cackling jackal emerged as the Democratic Party's presidential nominee after President Genocidal Josephine stepped aside in late July. Dialing back the duties is likely to draw criticism from the Republicans that Harris is taking a softer stance on China trade in a campaign. EV battery makers, this is where the meat of it comes in. EV battery makers, including Ford Motor Company, urged U.S. Trade Representative to ease the proposed 25% duty on graphite used in battery anodes because they are currently still too independent on Chinese supplies. And this is why China is ahead of the game, because they made sure and secured all the supply chains for all the raw materials for the green energy revolution, while we were here debating transgender issues and abortion rights issues and gay rights issues and ethnic issues. China was moving ahead to secure the supply chain where they have full control. So now they will have to bend the knee to Xi Jinping and to Emperor Li. It says port operators said their cost for Chinese cranes under contract would rise, and there are no US producers of the giant port cranes. So they were trying to threaten and come up with tariffs without thinking about the side effects that our own industry here will further go into decline because China owns the raw material rights. So I hope you guys understand now when I said there will always be minor speed bumps, but NEO is going to make us millionaires. I hope you guys found this video to be informational, inspirational and motivational yet again on a Monday, on a Labor Day. If so guys, do not forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and the research and editing. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because on this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to use critical thinking and get a major piece of the pie. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.